Welcome to the Sin Cup channel, and in this video I am going to talk about giants in the land. Giants in the land. So I was praying, and I was praying over my house, over my body, over everything that was in my realm, and also my entire realm. Now as I was praying, I encountered this demon. I don't know if it was a demon that was in charge of my realm that I was praying over, but this demon was there, and he started to speak, and he started to say that America will go into destruction. It will go into, and it was listing the specific destructions that America will go into. It was saying that it will go into destruction of war, and a destruction of disease, and a destruction of famine. And then it was saying something else, but I was not paying attention to it, because as it was speaking these things, I realized you have no power over my realm. You have no authority over my realm, because it began to say these things like, because America is given over for destruction to war, for famine, and for disease and pestilence, that I should surrender now to this demon, to this deity. And when it was talking, I realized that how much authority I had as a bride of Christ. Now, this authority that I'm speaking of, that is so powerful, was a different authority. We're speaking of the authority of surrendering to Yeshua. So I was surrendered to Yeshua, and me being surrendered to Yeshua as the bride of Christ, this demon entity did not have authority over me, because it's like I already had a boss, and my boss was Yeshua. So you don't speak and you don't take charge of my realm and declare what you're going to do. Yeshua is going to do what Yeshua will do. So I entered into this vision now. So when and this vision was a little bit like fragmented. It came in bits and pieces while I continued to pray. So while I was praying, I saw this young African-American young lady. I want to say this young lady could have been 13, 14, 15, but she looked young. And she had a spear and a javelin. And there was this demon in front of her. And when you look, when she was looking in front of her, it was night and it was dark. There was just complete darkness. Like, it was like the sky was covered. You could barely see any light in the sky. So all you saw was darkness. But this darkness that she was looking at was demons, because you could see heads moving. That's it. If not, it looked like a shadow of darkness, except on the very top of them, you would see like dividing of heads and the movement of heads. And in front of her was this big giant, this giant demon that looked like a demon. You knew it was a demon, and talked like a demon, and talked and spoke like a bully. This young lady, this young African-American lady, was not scared. She had her spear and she had her javelin, and this beast, this demon, was talking with its mouth, but this girl was ready to hit this demon. But then a light came behind her, and she turned around. When she turned around, now I see Yeshua. Yeshua was on his horse. Yeshua had mighty angels, warrior angels, all. I mean, it extended like a nation. I could not count them. It was transcendent. So this girl now, she looked back at the demonic nation behind her, because demons were a lot. All that darkness that you saw extended, you knew that there were demons, because you could see the sky that was above, that was kind of dark and covered, not really clear, and then you could see just darkness and little heads, like little movements, but you couldn't see like bodies separated. So all, when you look, you could just see, like, I would say it's like a nation of demons, and there's one bully in the front, and his was distinct. You could see him singularly. So when she turned back and looked back, she had a choice to make. Do I hit this giant, this bully, or do I run to Yeshua? to Jesus Christ. So the vision ended because Jesus did not move. He stood there. It was like a valley of decision. The little girl had to choose to either fight the giant herself or run to Yeshua. So the vision ended when she dropped all that she carried in her hand and she was about to take off. Now Yeshua was on a horse. And so it was like all these angelic beings. I can't remember if all the angels were on horses, but I just remember Yeshua was like on this white horse. And like now the girl dropped everything and she was about to run to him. So then when I'm still praying, and it's not a vision anymore, but Yeshua began to speak to my mind while I'm praying. And he started to speak to me about David and Goliath, when David faced Goliath. He said when David faced Goliath, it's not symbolic of the church facing Goliath. In this context in which I'm speaking, I'm only going to speak into this context when I was praying over my realm. And that now when you look on the timeline of time, it's Yeshua. I had spoken about this in another video. So in this context, in this frame of which I'm speaking, he said like when David faced Goliath, David facing Goliath for this time frame that we're in does not represent the church facing Goliath. He says because David represents me, Yeshua. I am from the lineage of David. I created this I created this situation with David so to show the manifestation of my glory of what I will do for my bride. It's symbolic. So Yeshua was like, the church does not face Goliath right now in the time frame that we're in. I, Yeshua, will face Goliath. I will destroy Goliath. But what the church must make a decision to do is surrender to me. Surrender to me and I will win the war for them. So this vision of this young lady, when she dropped her weapons, she was running to Yeshua for protection. She was running to Yeshua, not that she was scared of this giant. This little girl was not scared of this giant, but she made a choice. She realized that Jesus showed up to defend and to protect her, and she was going to allow Jesus to defend and to protect her. So she ran. I didn't see where she ran, but I saw where she made her body took the form of like, I'm going to run into Yeshua. And so the Lord began to speak to me that the most powerful thing that the church can do right now is to surrender to him. And yes, even if the demonic kingdom, demonic men have sold out this country for war, for pestilence, for disease, for destruction, if the people who are called by Yeshua's name would humble themselves and pray, surrender their hearts to Jesus, do not go after the giant. You drop all your weapons because you don't need the weapon when you're in Yeshua's embrace. So she had this like the military army of Yeshua was a nation. Like it was so big. Like this girl, which represents the bride of Christ, was going to be so protected. They were going to fight the giants for her, and all she had to do was stay with Yeshua. Be humble. Don't take on this bully, this one little girl against this nations of demons. No, Jesus is calling his bride to come to him and surrender your heart. The most powerful thing the church can do right now is to surrender completely and yield to Yeshua. Then Yeshua will release his armies of angels, and he himself will fight for you. The Lord himself will fight for you. Exodus 14 verses 14. The Lord himself will fight for you. But we must surrender, give our hearts, give everything to Yeshua. So I am delighting in Yeshua and this knowledge that I have peace, I have restoration, I have love in the arms of Yeshua. Because behold, your bridegroom come. Surrender to him. And whatever this nation was sold out for, Jesus will fight for his bride. Yeshua will fight for his surrendered bride. But I notice in this vision, Yeshua did not move until the choice was made by this little girl, this young lady. He stood and he waited. He stood. He didn't run and snatch her up. Oh, you're so young, let me protect you. He waited for her to make a choice, and he stood. When I say stood, I don't mean literally. He was on a horse. But he waited for her to come to him. He waited for her to make that decision. So Jesus right now is waiting for the church to surrender so that he can fight for you. So may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace, and you leave knowing this, that it's not your job to take down the giants anymore. It's Yeshua's job. It's Yeshua's. Be blessed.